what makes it so surreal. I mean, when you think about, I live in Los Angeles. I'm from here, but I live there now. I come home every year, but to get this type of reception, this type of respect, this type of love, they know that I care about them. They know that I keep up with what goes on with Michigan State. I'm a homegrown guy. And I think that they made me proud, and I hope that I made them proud, you know, on how I carried my life, or I should say how I've lived my life and how I've come back and tried to touch the state and making investments with my Starbucks and other things that I've done here. And I think that's what makes it great. And they see me every year when Michigan State goes to the tournament. I'm there. You know, yes, Cookie and I live in Los Angeles, but we keep up with things that happen here, whether it's in Lansing or Detroit, because Cookie is from Detroit.
You said earlier today that when they called you Magic, you didn't think that name was going to stick.
Yeah.
At what point in your life did it sink in that, oh my God, I'm Magic?
That's a good question, because I have to admit, when it first happened, it was kind of corny. I was like, Magic, 15 years old, you know, my boys were like, man, you're not no Magic, you know. So I didn't never go with it, right? But I think it's when I saw that cover with the top hat, and I said, wow, it goes, yes, it starts to make sense. People around the country they never even say Urban, Magic. Even today, you know, Magic. My business partners say Irvin. Now, when I come home, it's Irvin, but everywhere else is Magic. Everywhere, around the world. My Cookie and I go to Europe every year. Magic, you played the basket. You played the basket. And so it's really funny. It's funny. Even Tammy and I go around the world. You know what's very interesting? And she said this to me. We were in the mall in Atlanta, and everybody came out of the stores. Like, I couldn't even shop. So we get outside because the people mobbed me, and she said, do you realize, Mr. J, because they call me Mr. J, a lot of those people never saw you play. And I said, wow, it never really related to me until she said, you're timeless. And remember that came out your mind. You're like, I mean, and so what a blessing, you know. And I think Michigan makes that happen first, and Los Angeles second, and then it just goes from there.
That's a good point, because there were tons of college kids in the crowd tonight. Mm-hmm. You know, they were born after you won the 5th championship.
Right.
You know, I mean, has that hit you? Like, when you're credited a lot with like one of the pillars of the NBA, mm-hmm. bringing it back to a level of popularity, which it's, you know, continued to skyrocket. Mm-hmm. Has that hit you? I mean, at what point do you think it went, wow, I'm not just a basketball player, I'm not just a really good basketball player, I'm not just a great basketball player, I'm almost a transcendent one-name figure. Has that hit?
I don't think, you know, that can never hit you. I don't think it, I got an ego, but I don't have one that big. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what you do is, that happens because you're a good person, you're a good guy. That doesn't happen because you're a great basketball player. You have to be a combination of things for that to happen. And so today, you know, I come home and we go shoot different segments of the people you saw, my 5th grade teacher and the 2 businessmen who influenced me. But also after that, I went to the same barber that cuts my hair for years. Then after that, I went to have a sandwich at the place that I've always eaten. You see, that's what makes that happen, sure. That you're just a real person. You don't see me with 20 bodyguards walking in a place. That's not who I am. So I'm approachable, and I haven't forgotten where I come from. And so I think with that, and they see me growing as a man every day because of my business and what I said I was going to do, I'm doing it. I'm a man of my word. And so I told him I was going to play in the NBA, but I was going to be a businessman after that, and I'm doing it. And so I've been really blessed, man. And I thank God every day that I grew up here, I'm from here, and that I went to school at Michigan State.
You said you always watch the games. I'm guessing you saw Syracuse. I'm guessing you have a couple of choice words for the next game. What's your word of advice?
Well, first of all, get back to playing great defense and rebound. That's what made the Spartans the best team for many, many years. And then also we got to cut those turnovers down. Right now we're averaging about 19. That's way too many for a veteran team. We're not a young team. We're a veteran team. We've been there. All the guys, we only have a few freshmen, Appleton and the big kid from Ohio that's really playing. But that's no excuse to have that many turnovers. But I think this team will get back. One thing good about Coach Izzo is that he schedules tough early. He wants to see where his team is. Then to go through the Big Ten season, they're going to go through the ups and downs. But I tell you what, during the tournament, he always has them ready to play. And I think this team will be ready again. I'm not really concerned about the way they're playing. Because you have to remember, they've been all over the country, too. All the way out to Hawaii, come home, play a game, then down to Duke, then come back, fly to New York. That's tough. So I understand they've been through some tough circumstances, too. But this team will come through. They want it. They're hungry.
It'll be a tough schedule for an NBA team.
That's right. That's right.
A college team. What's your business ventures? And, it reads like a long list. Do you find that, especially in the last couple of years with everything that's happened around here, what about your background here? You shared the stories about working with your dad, about working with Mr. Ferguson, things of that sort. What about those experiences have helped you with what you do now, and what makes you most proud about the way really the area and the state is starting to kind of come back?
Right. Well, first, but let's take the state first. I'm happy. Now the movie industry is now targeting Michigan. Matter of fact, I just met with a guy who's he's shooting $100 million film, and he's going to bring all that money right here in the state and spend it in the state, about $100 million. This film is coming up, a Disney film, I believe it is. That's beautiful for the economy, beautiful for the state of Michigan, putting people back to work, drawing attention to our great state. Now we're built, I guess movie studios are being built. That's great. We need other things to come. We just can't rely on the big three anymore, the car companies. We can't just rely on just the state jobs. So now we have another industry coming and making it great for the people who live here, and then also can employ the people who live here. So I'm seeing things happen finally. We're seeing a turn, and I feel really good about the state. Will I be a part of it? Of course, some kind of way, because we're looking for deals every day. So I know that I will invest more money and put people to work myself, because that's what we do. I wouldn't be the CEO, the man that owned these businesses, if it hadn't been for Lansing. I pay attention to details because Judd Heathcote taught me that. Joe Ferguson and Greg Eaton taught me that. Surrounding myself with the best people, hire the best, smarter, more people who are smarter than yourself. I've done that because I got advice from Joe and Greg about doing that. Mr. Dart, Mrs. Dart, I think really grounded me and paved the way for me, really made me pay attention to education. My parents, the work ethic, my mother, the way I treat people, the way I smile, the way that I'm outgoing is because of her. I mean, I can keep going. There's so many things that helped me get to this point, but it all started here. The values that I have. Yeah, Michigan shaped me, molded me, and to the basketball player I was, as well as the CEO that I am today.
Well, we can't talk about business ventures without talking about the Pistons.
Yeah.
A lot of people would love to see you come in, take some ownership of it. How likely is that?
Well, I wouldn't say that it's not impossible. I think that what we all thought was Mr. Ilitch was going to buy the team, and that's what was going to happen. Matter of fact, I had met with Mr. Ilitch a long time ago. He's the right person to own it based on how he's done a tremendous job with the Red Wings and the Tigers. So I think now it's just a waiting game to see will he take the majority of it and own the team. After that happens, I'll be willing and I'll be...
So you're not ruling it out?
No, I'm not ruling it out. And as I said today, I'm not about owning the majority of the team. I don't have to do that.
Just the majority control.
Yeah, because you want to... See, I want to control the basketball side. Whoever the owner, he control the business because that's what he should do. But when you think about controlling the basketball, I got the know-how, I got the knowledge, I have the expertise. When you come from a Laker organization that has won 10 championships, I know the players, I know the agents, I know the managers, I know the posse members. Because now you got to know everybody.
Everyone's their own little
That's right. That's right. You can't just know the agent anymore. That doesn't work. You have to know everybody he's hanging with, because you got to influence everybody now. When LeBron went through that thing, they didn't just recruit LeBron. They recruited Maverick, West, everybody. And so that's what you have to do now. And so I know them all, and I keep up with the game, high school, college. So that's important in today's game. So if you're asking me, would I entertain a meeting with, if it's Mr. Ilitch or whoever buys the team, no question I would. So I sat down already with Golden State. I've sat down with a few teams, and some of them I can't mention, and they are recruiting me right now because the one thing that's missing is somebody who has the knowledge of making a decision on all the basketball points, players, general manager, and then who can recruit the players to come in and play.
How much are you getting a little extra motivation ever since Mike bought the Bobcats there a little bit?
I wouldn't say extra motivation. I would say I'm happy that he did it.
Sure.
It showed that he could go from the court to the owner's office and do a good job. Because even if I don't even invest in an NBA team, say this never happened, I'm still good. I'm going to always cheer for Michael. I hope that even Isaiah gets back in, when you are in a fraternity like we're in, you cheer for Joe Dumars. You cheer for those players who are in those positions. And Michael just went to the top now as the owner, But say I never invest and I just go with the NFL. I'm going to be fine with that. Sure. Say I don't do the NFL or the NBA. I'm living the life that I want to live, which is being a CEO. It's never been about I have to do basketball, I have to do this. It's about, for me, I got $1 billion real estate fund. I got a $500 million equity fund. I got a new fund I just announced with TCW. That's what it's about for me. It's the wheeling and dealing. It's the have a diverse portfolio. Because she knows I like to do a lot of things. I just don't want to be doing one thing. I want to, Sodexo Magic, my food and facilities management company. We're just, we're booming right now. We just won an Allstate contract. We got Disney. We got American Airlines. We got Blue Cross Blue Shield. We got on and on and on. That's what I like to do. So even with me doing the stuff that you're talking about, I still got to have other things going on.
As somebody who followed your career as close as I could, don't make me an age, but
51.
Younger. I'm less than 50. We'll just put it that way. It sounds like I I hear two things. I hear a competitiveness in you to continue to look for the next thing, and
Right.
I also hear that diversity that you're looking for, similar to the way that you kind of played. I mean, because you, as a player, the Greek. I mean, you did everything,
Right.
and it's kind of turning that way as a business. And
First time somebody ever put it like that, Tammy. You're good. I'm still the point guard. Nothing has changed. That's what people who are in my inner circle said, man, you're still the point guard. You're just playing in a different game, in a different arena. And you're right. But I will tell you this. I'm one of the most focused and disciplined guys you're going to ever see. So if we say the Pistons and something happens, you're going to see a focused Magic Johnson, because I want to get back to the top. I want to get back to the Joe Dumars, Isaiah, Bill Laimbeer, Benny Johnson, John Sally, Rodman, them days where they were kicking butt, taking names and numbers and winning championships. I want to get back. I would work so hard to get us back to that, because I don't want to fail, you see? So wherever I go, you're going to see a commitment and a discipline from a guy, because I haven't failed at many things, and if I come home, I can't fail at home, right? So that's the type of focus you're going to get from me, I do that every day. So some things that I'm doing now, I have an incredible staff, so I can say, go do it, and business can still be conducted even if I'm not there.
like everybody's around the land.
That's right. Exactly.
Can I just ask one more thing? I know you said it outside during the taping, but we couldn't run cameras at that point.
Water, someone?
You had a
Coke,
fistful,
anything.
You have a fistful of rings.
Uh-huh.
How does that compare to the title that you won here? Which one's more important to you?
Well, of course, the NCAA championship, because it started everything. You're so innocent, and you made a commitment to a community. You see, this is, I'm from here. I mean, I'm only 10 minutes away, right? And these guys, these people, this community knew me as a little kid, snotty-nosed kid, who all he wanted to do was to bring a championship back to Michigan State. And so when Kansas City called me to make me the #1 pick in '78, I mean, it was an easy decision. Most kids go crazy, oh, well, I should go or not. And I turned them down cold the same day. You know, it was never even a thought of leaving Michigan State, because I had unfinished business. And so when I came back, I worked my butt off that summer, right, to get better, because Kentucky taught us a valuable lesson. At the end of the game, we didn't execute. And they were supposed to blow us out. Remember, they were the favorites to win it that year. We surprised them to be up 7 at halftime, 27-20. We were right there to win the game, but we didn't know how to win the game, you see? So it taught me a lesson. We got to close out. So we made a commitment to each other that next year, when we get to the tournament, we're going to win this thing, and we know now how to win it. When we got to the NCAA tournament, remember, we didn't have a close game. We blew everybody out, right? And that feeling of winning, and I'm from Lansing, and coming back home, and I tell you, the feeling LeBron will never have is that. See, he may win championship, and he's going to do it, but he will never have what I have. You see what happened today? He'll never get that. You see, I can come home. This will always be home for me. Remember when we won the championship, the biggest applause I received was when we won. Everybody went crazy tonight seeing that footage. That can never happen. That will always be in people's minds and be a memory that I started the whole basketball, what we have now at Michigan State. I started that off, and now look at us. Look what Coach Izzo has done. Incredible when you think about it. Now we are national power every year. And so it's special because born and raised here, we did what we said we were going to do, and I can always come home. You see? I can always come home, and nothing more special than that.
one last thing
Yeah.
for it.
Do you want to go to
When,
touch up on
when
the
Tom was
Texans?
going through what he went through in the summer with the Cleveland deal,
Right.
and everything, did you get a chance to talk?
Oh yeah, I talked to Tom a couple of
What can
times.
you share with us about? I mean,
Well, I told him, I said, if you leave, nobody will be upset. You've done everything you were supposed to do here and more. I said, only thing I told him was to make sure that you're going to be happy with your decision. I said, I'm supporting you 100%. If you go to the NBA, I'll help you there. If you stay at Michigan State, I'll help you there. I mean, I'm a Tom Izzo fan, so he didn't have to worry about me. He had my support either way. I was hoping, though, what I wanted for him was LeBron to stay. And I told him that you got to make sure LeBron stays, because if you don't, you might as well stay at Michigan State, because your team could beat the Cavaliers, right? And because if you take LeBron, it's a below average team. It's not even an average team. So
that your buddy Byron is learning and kind of discovering.
yes,
even right
yes,
now. Yeah.
he's going through those growing pains with that team. So when he finally made his decision, I called him up, and I knew it was bothering him. You know, Tom loves Michigan State.
Sure.
This is it for him. But what a decision he had to make to go back and forth. And but I didn't want to be one of those guys who said, "Oh man, it's gonna be over if you leave." No, man. Hey, if you think it's a great opportunity for you and your family, go, and I'm gonna support him. He called me when he got the Atlanta offer.
Yeah.
Same thing. I mean, so we're close.
Sure.
So we always talk all during the season, just like during this tough time. And I'm a Tom Izzo supporter. I love Tom. And Cookie and I are making arrangements now to go to the football game. You know, we love, yeah. So you know, we're always supporting Michigan State, and we love it. Last one, and then I'll go. Who got it?
Go for it.
What's wrong with the Pistons? Seriously.
Too many individuals.
Yeah.
The Pistons have been built on great team play, and we don't have that. And they were built on defense and toughness, and you don't see that. You have to get back to what made Detroit great, and that was that great defense, physical play, tough mindset, and they represented the city and the state.
Sure.
And what we're seeing now is a team that is soft, a team that's not a team, and I think that we got to get back to the how. See, people from Detroit and from Michigan can accept losing, but they can't accept the way they're losing. You see, because it doesn't represent the state and the city. Soft, not outworking the team. See, that's what Detroit was all about. Maybe, guts and spilling it all out on the court. And you were, when we used to come in here, we didn't want to play Detroit because they said, "Damn, they're gonna beat you up. They're gonna pound you around, and they're gonna make it hard for you to score."
Sure.
You used to say, "Dang, we can't get a good shot off against these dudes, right?" Now you can get any shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now the Piston fans cheering for the other team. You know, so they're watching the other team come play, and so they got to get back to Detroit Piston basketball. Even with the Red Wings not winning the Stanley Cup, they still playing the same way.
Exactly.
You see, and that's what they have to get back to. Just like the Red Wings are doing, they still play hard, smart. Everybody still love them. They're gonna still lay it out on the line. Detroit Pistons have to get back to that. So I know, you know, I grew up, man, with all these, the Tigers, all that. I was coming when we were losing everything. Give the Lions some credit. Sue, we're in games now. We're losing the fourth quarter. Instead of, remember, we get blown out in the first, second quarter, and it's over. Now we're losing in the fourth quarter. I like that. So we can hang on to their building. They're going somewhere. And I like that now. So I want to give the Lions organization some credit because I watched the games And I'm saying, man, we just don't have enough at the end to win.
Yeah.
But we have forced everybody. I mean, even on the road, we've been playing tough. I said, okay, now Detroit Pistons got to get back to that. We don't. It's like where you're going. You know, what's the blueprint? Where we're going? And I'm sure Joe will figure it out, and he's great at it.
He has before.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you mind if we just got a couple quick
Okay.
two shots
So
for us?
so what do you want me to do?
You can just hang.
Just like this?
Yeah, you can just relax, you know. So are you guys flying back tonight, or? Are you,
No.
you
I have
graduation coming up, right?
yeah.
The
So
commencement speech?
yes, tomorrow I got a full day too.
Yeah.
I got a luncheon with
She
Detroit
keeps you busy.
businessmen and Lansing businessmen. And then at 2 o'clock, I talked to all the black students.